Hello and welcome to Android-SMS-Mms-Extractor. This tool will be able to extract SMS, which are text messages, and MMS messages, which are multimedia messages, from a rooted Android device. Now, MMS messages could contain pictures, videos, audio files, or contact V cards. So to start off, let's go to the GitHub. So here's the link to the GitHub. And we'll check out the Readme, which is very thorough. Starts off with your requirements, so Python 2.7 and SQLite 3 for Python. This SQLite database browser I used as a resource for this project. And then you can read to see the specific files that we need to get and a specific folder. Then the Readme covers explanations of the output that you'll receive from the script. So now let's get to it. So if for some reason we need to take the messages and view them, maybe for viewing in court or something like that, where you need to have tangible evidence, this tool would come in handy. So first off, root your Android device. There's a lot of ways to do it. You just basically your preference, and then this next step is also up to your preference, which is how you get the files from the Android device. So my methodology included installing SSH Droid, which is an SSH server, and then let's clone the GitHub. So we're cloning it into the desktop, and there it is. Okay, now the next step here is to use secure copy and copy over the files that we need. So let's get the database file. Enter the password, and it's being transferred. Now the next step that we're going to do is to fetch the app parts folder, which is located inside of the Android file system, which will contain numerous files, and these files are the actual files that were sent or received via MMS. Okay, so let's do that. App parts to the desktop and our repository. Password, and this might take a little while. There's 142 files in the folder right now in the device that I'm using. So let's go over here to SQLite database browser. So let me show you first off the database structure for MMS SMS.db. So you can see here all the different tables. I mainly used SMS, part, and address. Let's see, let's go into SMS. You can see the attributes here: ID, unique ID, thread ID, which is for I use to sort these messages into conversations. So you see, say this number is associated with this thread ID, meaning that they should all be grouped together. And you can see all the way down, just more messages, and then here you can see on the right where it says body. There you go. You can see the actual body of a message right there. The type is whether it's sent or received, and the date is in Unix time, which is converted in the script. Alright, so now let me show you the part table, which right here tells you what kind of content is in it. And it's an image JPEG, and there's PNGs and audio 3GPP files, as well as a V card in here for context. Now this MID is the message ID, which I used to associate with this table, message ID, and it actually gives me the phone number. So that takes care of mostly how I design my classes, modeling this database. Okay. Alright, so we're all done here. Let's open up the folder. Now we see we have at parts folder the database file, the readme, and the script itself. So let's run this script. Python. Right here you can see the usage. So it's there we go, and now we have to pass it an argument, which is the current working directory, the directory where everything is saved. Remember to have the backslash there, /. Alright, now our script has run, and let's look at the output. So we have 4 new items here, 2 new folders, and 2 new text files. So the first new text file is the Sms Histogram. Looking at it and opening it up, we see the phone number and a frequency of messages, meaning the amount of messages that are included in this conversation with this specific number. So it goes from high to low. At the bottom we have total, which is 8,674. Now let's just cross-check that with our database. So we have 8,674 records. So they match. There we go. Now let's get into the actual output. So the messages are grouped in conversations just as they would be on the phone. So each distinct number has its own folder. You go in, it has a text file and a statistics file. Text file containing to, from, and all this stuff. And that's it. So you have the conversation in one, you have the statistics in other, so you have the amount of messages sent, received, and total amount, period. Then you have the first date of established contact and the last date of established contact. And it's the same structure for every other conversation. And now let's get into MMS. The Mms Histogram shows you basically the same thing, the amount of messages inside of each conversation. Now what I noticed was the one with the most, an unusually large amount of messages was this first number here, which also happens to be the number of the device that I extracted from. So all the messages that get received are stored in under the phone number that the device has. All the other ones that are sent are basically stored under the number that you sent it to. At the bottom we have total amount of messages in device, 142. And if we take a look at app parts here, there are 143 items, but that is because one of the items is a .ds_store, which is added by Mac OS X, so it matches. And let's go into one. Let's just get an example and click the file. Now we see we have an actual image. Okay, and that does it for this demonstration. As you can see, it reads this database file. Now, deleted files are stored in a mms-sms.db-journal file, which was not present in this device, but it has the same structure as the original database. So if you would to plug that into this script, you would get the same results with the deleted messages. Alright, well, thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed this.